Good morning. Let me get everything up and running. So bear with me for just a second. You know the drill. Hold on. Wait for just a second. You know. All right. So there we are. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me make sure everything is functioning as it should. One more thing here. Good morning, Sean. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, definitely. I'm just doing all the little housekeeping things to get all this stuff flowing like it should. Happy Friday. Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I went out walking the dog this morning and I've alluded to it several times. Even though I know it's still warm and it's not fall yet, I can feel it in the air, the essence of it coming in, and I'm loving it. And it's so funny because normally I want summer to last as long as possible. But for whatever reason this year, the thought of fall, and maybe it's the change and everything that's really intriguing me because, it is one of those things, the things die off to bring something new, right? Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I'm just loving and anticipating the fall weather, the fall colors, just so much beauty in the release, right? Mm, so much beauty in the release. All right, so I was at the last minute. I was having to delete some things from my StreamYard because I didn't have any more memory on there, and I had to delete some of the things that I had on there in order to be able to do this morning. So I was a couple of minutes late getting on here, but no biggie, right? So, how are you guys? I see you, Jackie. I see you watching. How are you this morning? And Sean, how are you doing this morning? Amen to that. Yeah, yeah. The beautiful colors and the beauty that comes from the release. Is that what you're talking about? I mean, I don't know how it is in all the other parts of the world when it comes time for fall, but man, can it be so gorgeous in the South, in Georgia in particular, because that's where I live, right? Um, and I know one of the things that for when I was in elementary school, my family and I, we moved to Florida for a while to help my grandfather who lived there and everything. And one of the things that even as a young child that I liked better about Georgia than Florida was the season change. And I remember, good morning, Carrie. I remember, and Janet, good morning. I remember, and I was only in like the third or fourth grade when we moved to Florida. But I remember coming to visit some family, and when we crossed out of Florida into Georgia, it was like, look how green the grass is. Look how pretty the trees are. And it was like almost like in the Wizard of Oz, where it's all black and white. And then when things become magical, it's all in color. That was how I felt as a child coming back into Georgia and seeing all the colors. And so that still stays with me today. I love Florida. I love visiting Florida, but I love the season change. I love the green grass, and I love all the trees and everything. And it's funny too. My daughter. Um, Good morning, Lynn. My daughter moved to Denver for a while, and I remember when I would go visit her, it was like the sky was huge. Well, it took me a while to figure out. Part of the reason was the elevation, of course, but part of it was because it didn't have all these trees. And here, we have all these tall, tall trees that block some of the sky. And so it made me appreciate the trees too, right? So it's funny how, and it's probably because this is where I grew up, right? Um, and so if you were born in Denver, for instance, and then you came to Georgia, you may feel really like, oh, I can't believe that those trees are blocking the sky. We can't see as much. So I think it just comes from how we perceive things growing up, and then we expect, or we really like to be in that space, right? You do too, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this affirmation for you today. And I know I say this all the time, but I really like this one. Nothing new there, right? All right, so I am a creative trailblazer, sprinkling my magic and talents everywhere I go. So how does that feel? I am a creative trailblazer, trailblazer, sprinkling my magic and talents everywhere I go. Let me know what's coming up for you when I say that. So if you're on Instagram, or you're on YouTube, or you're on Facebook, wherever you are, feel free to pop in and give me your thoughts. I do need that Jeopardy music, so something just fills the space while I'm waiting to see what everybody has to say. Any thoughts? So for me, I love the thought of me being a creative trailblazer. That just feels just so delicious in life. To be creative, for one thing, being a trailblazer is another, and having magic and talents. Woof. My first thought was, I need to send this to my friend who is this person. Lynn, you are this person too, girl. Because we talk about this a lot, right? Anytime we talk to someone, we're sharing our gifts and our magic and our talents and everything, right? Hold on, let me see what this says. I feel like, yes, I am, but then I have to start sprinkling more than I am doing. Okay. Well, see, then you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. So just think about this, Jackie, and Lynn as well, that every time you're on here, every time you go in a group, every time you go to the grocery store and you have a kind word for someone, every time somebody says, I've really been having this issue with whatever it is, and you can say, oh, wow, I've had that before. Let me tell you what helped me. Every time you do that, you're sprinkling your magic, right? And you're helping people. It doesn't always have to be the structured things that we do for our business. It's everything that we do. We're always sprinkling our magic and our talents everywhere we go, even if that's not our intent. Remember when we talked about how there's the ripple effect of everything you say, and I shared with you the story of Zig Ziglar with the kicking the cat. where if somebody has a bad day and they do something to the person underneath them in the business, and that person gets upset and does something, and then it goes all the way down to the last person at work, and they go home and they get in a fight with their wife, and the wife then ends up getting upset with their son, and the son walks out and just kicks the cat. And so the first person should have just went home and kicked the cat, right? I love that story. The thing is that it's the opposite is also true. For every person that we go out and we share something, whether it's a smile, a kind word, we share some insights of something that might help them. Anytime any of that happens, we're doing that same thing, but we're doing it on the positive side, so that every person that person comes in contact with, they will actually do better as far as sharing their magic and their gifts. And then that person will do the same. And it's this ripple effect that we create all the time. If that's the case, then I'm in full sprinkle mode. Yes, you are, Jackie. Yes. See, it's how we look at it, because everything we do is sprinkling our magic. That's why it's so important for us to be aware of our interactions with people. Like for instance, when you go to the grocery store and wait, let's see what this is. Oh, I am, but it just made me think fondly of her. We have been through a lot together this summer, enriching our friendship. I don't doubt my abilities for this at all, but I tend to see it in others, and it makes me smile when I see them shine. Often told by others that my magic always shines brightly. Oh, I love that, Lynn. I love that. If she's not in the group, when you reach out to her, ask her to come into the group. We would love to meet this amazing friend that you have. She would shine a light in here too, right? So that would be beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Lynn. I love that. So when we go, like I was about to say, is when I go to the grocery store, there are times that you walk up to the cashier or just anybody in the store, and you can just see that they're miserable. And granted, I've been a cashier before. It's not the most rewarding job there is, but it pays the bills when that's what you feel like you need to do. And so I don't say don't do your job. I say find the joy in the job that you're doing, and then you can find something more rewarding if you need it, right? Because not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to be a CEO. Not everybody wants the same things. Thank goodness, right? I always think to myself sometimes that thank God there are some people that want to work for the garbage company. But if everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur and a CEO, there would be nobody there to pick up our garbage. And I'm not saying that they need to stay there. I'm just saying that it's a part of the journey. Like for those of you who know Myron Golden, and I follow him really a lot, one of the books he has is from the trash man to the cash man, because now he's a millionaire. I don't know how many millions, right? He's a big business guy and a pastor and so many different things. But he at one point was a garbage man. That's what he did to pay the bills. And so not everybody is going to go from the trash man to the cash man. And that's okay. We all have our own journey and everything. So I'm not ever saying I'm judging somebody for being in the position that they're in, because there have been times that I was happy to be exactly where I was until I grew to work to do something different. And that's okay, right? But when I go somewhere and I see the misery in someone's face, and it's almost like I have you ever been to a restaurant and the waitress or their waiter comes over, and when they leave, you say, "Oh my God, they don't like their job at all." Then that's the time that you shine and you talk to them, you have a conversation, You appreciate them, even if they don't seem like they're doing a good job, because maybe all they need in that moment is someone that says, "Hey, I know it's tough right now because it looks like this place is packed, but I appreciate you doing such a good job. And so, you know, we're not worried about it. We're here having a good conversation. So you be you, and we appreciate you." Whatever you have to say, right? Something that feels good within you, that's true. And, I've told several times, I've told a waitress or whatever, I get it. It's super busy. So don't stress over us. Just if you'll keep our drink filled and our food comes when it comes, we're good. And the relief that you see on someone's face, because I've been a server before too. I was a waitress, and one of the hardest jobs I ever did, but it was fun to interact with all the people. But for me, there were days that I had really long shifts and I couldn't sit down during my break, because if I did, my feet would hurt so bad when I stood up. So I would take my break standing up. And so it's a very thankless, most of the time, job, right? And you get blamed for things that the cook did wrong, or you get blamed because there's something that's not, that they're out of. And you, as a server, have absolutely zero control over how fast the cook cooks and how much supplies that the company has, but you get blamed for it. You get stiffed on your tips. You get fussed at. You get chastised, right? So just think about all of that stuff. And the next time you're in front of someone that is a server of some kind, because whether you work at the DMV, you're a server, right? You're not serving food, but you're a server. So anytime someone is in the public and they're serving you in some manner, be kind. I don't care if they're an ass. You don't know what they deal with. Sprinkle a little bit of your magic and your talents just by giving them the grace to be them, and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden my nose is itching. I got a hair floating around somewhere." But you can be that catalyst in that moment that makes them feel like they're human and they're appreciated. That's a gift, right? Let's see. As at last week, Myron Golden said he had 41 million turnover. Yes, I mean, isn't that amazing? Have you read his book, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man? And then he has another one that I have. It's the Make More Offers. What is it? Something like that. I've got it over here somewhere. But yeah, it's amazing, right? But thank God, not every trash man does that. We would never have a soul pick up our trash. We would all be putting it in our vehicles and taking it to the dump if we even knew where one was. So let's appreciate the people who keep everything running smoothly. That goes to the trash man, to the people that clean the streets, the people that work on the streets, the people that build, the people, right? They all create all the time. So anytime you're out and you see someone that is providing a service that makes life better, appreciate it. And you don't even have to go up to them and say you appreciate it. One of the things I like to say is that we can vibrate out to people, right? So when you're out and about, let's say you're driving down the road and you see some people working on the road, they're filling potholes or they're repaving or anything like that. You just throw your hand up, you wave, and then in your mind and in your heart, you send them some love and light, letting them know with your vibration that they are appreciated. They probably have no idea you did that, more than likely, but for some reason, they'll feel just a little something within them. And that's you affecting them. right? Just think about that. We can affect people very easily and they don't know. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's like, what is it that it says in the, that Jesus says in the Bible? Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, which, is like, don't ask for accolades for the gifts that you're doing, the things that you're doing to help people. At least that's my interpretation of it. Anyway. So that means it is perfectly brilliant to utilize your gifts and your talents to affect others without any recognition of it at all. So every time, this is not even part of the journal prompt, but let's just think about this today as you're going about your day. Anytime you see someone who is of service in the world, especially in your niche of the world, right? Just send them peace, love, and light, blessings. Just in that moment. And then just keep going. See, that's a gift and a talent right there. That is sprinkling magic everywhere you go. So just start sprinkling even more, right? All right, so now I'm going to get to the journal prompt. What's one fun way you can share your unique voice and gifts with the world today? And think of how your creativity can light up someone's day. So what do you think? What's one fun way you can share your unique voice and gifts with the world today? Now, I already told you that one of the things you can do is just anytime you see someone in the world that is in service, and whether it's the garbage man, the waitress, the cashier, the ditch digger, whatever it is, the people that serve us and allow our communities to be amazing, the police, the firemen, the teachers, all of that, those are all service. We are in service to people. So right now I'm sending you peace, love, and light to each one of you, right? Because I appreciate you and I appreciate you being here. So how can you share your unique voice and gifts with the world today? So see, it doesn't always have to be that you are working with a client. If you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't always have to be that you're working with a client and you share this amazing thing with them and they have these changes within them and then they go out into the world and they make changes, right? That's beautiful. But just having the ability to affect someone in passing, be able to affect someone one-to-one that has nothing to do with business. It's just, I really appreciate you so much for being here and having a smile on your face. See, all of that is a gift, right? So how does that feel when you think of it? And I will tell you, absolutely love seeing someone who you can tell is not happy. Either they don't like their job or they've had a hell of a morning, whatever it may be. And I can speak to them just by being nice. And then they have a smile on their face, and they feel like, and it looks like just the touch of whatever was really, really holding them down has lifted. Just a touch. It doesn't have to be a lot. And I know you've probably heard many, many stories about someone who was really at the verge in their life that they were ready to just and cut their life short, right? And somebody just randomly has a conversation with them and lets them see that they're valuable in some way, and they don't do it. So we have some powerful, powerful gifts within us. And intuitively, we learn to feel people's vibration, right? And we know that they need a little lift. Do it. Doesn't cost you anything. But man, oh man, the thing that it will give you inside, and you don't even know that it affected them in that way. And that's okay too. Like I think I've told you guys, let's see what this says. It's such a beautiful prompt and so easy to imbibe because it is something we do already. Now we can be more intentional about it. Thank you, Miss Vicki. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Yeah, when we just do it with intention, it is powerful stuff. So one of the things that I love is like knowing that I don't have to know how it affects someone. I don't have to know the outcome. Like I think I've shared, I don't know from the people who are on here who has heard this story before, but I was raising a foster child, which at the time I thought was my granddaughter, but that's a whole nother ball game there. But when the judge gave her to her birth mother instead of letting me adopt, which that's another story in itself. And anybody that wants to know the story, you can go back and watch some other stuff, or I can share it another time. But I haven't seen her in over 5 years. But I still, every single day, she's the screensaver on my phone. I have one of the things that I did as she was growing, because I had her from birth, from leaving the hospital, is I had there was a closet door in her bedroom, and I put her height, I marked it on the actual door, because I knew in my heart that if I ever left that place, I wanted to be able to take it with me. I didn't want to leave these, you see it on the door frame and everything. I didn't want to leave it. I wanted to be able to take it. So I have the door in my garage. When I sold my house, I replaced the closet door and took the door with the measurements on it. So it's downstairs in my garage. Every time I pass it, I send her peace, love, and light. And then every time I see the screensaver on my phone, I do the same. When I get a memory on Facebook of some time that I had with her, see, it's going to make me cry. I send her peace, love, and light. So often. And there's nothing I can do to change anything. But I know in my heart that when I do that, no matter what she's doing, whether because she's 10 now, if she's playing with some friends, she might just feel a little lightness in her heart, like a little joy piece. Maybe she's trying to get to sleep and she's having a hard time, and I do the peace, love, and light, and then she suddenly like, relaxes and goes to sleep. So in my mind, every time I send her this peace, love, and light, I'm affecting her, even though I don't know exactly what she feels, but I feel, and God helps me feel that it affects her, right? So I feel like Every time we do that to anybody, they feel it. They just don't know it's us. And that's okay, right? Sorry. Wasn't intending to do that this morning, but that's okay. All right. So we're going to go back to the affirmation. And remember, we're going to put that on our sticky note, our index card, our screensaver on our phone, put it on a piece of paper, put it on your computer, put it on your refrigerator, put it somewhere that you can recognize today. Right? And remember, anything that comes after the words I am are so powerful. So a lot of times I will try to, the thought that comes to me for the affirmation, I try to figure out how can I make it an I am statement, but I don't always, but that's usually what I want to do. So I am, take ownership of it. This is who I am, a creative trailblazer, sprinkling my magic and talents everywhere I go. Oh, delicious, right? Just think of that symphony of notes and how they're playing the part in your life. And you're just creating and creating a difference for people, a difference for yourself. Because every time you do these steps, every single time, you are affecting change within you. And you're affecting change on the outside too. But as we change in here, oh man, is it powerful, because it changes who we are at the core in our soul. And so remember, the things that we do today that change us, that becomes our new normal. And then we do something else and that becomes our new normal. So I love talking about our new normal, right? Because then it just is who we are. Because like I've been doing this for a while with this sending peace, love, and light to different people. And when I'm out and doing things, and I don't even think of it anymore. It just happens. So just think, as you're going through your day, I'm sending you peace, love, and light. Just automatically, it's like, oh, I'm going to send my group peace, love, and light. So it happens all the time without me having to say, oh, I need to be doing that. It just happens. And so as you exercise this muscle and this becomes you, good morning, Ellen, then that just becomes who you are and what you do, right? So remember your affirmation, I am a creative trailblazer, sprinkling my magic and talents everywhere I go. Powerful, right? And then the journal prompt. What's one fun way you can share your unique voice and gifts with the world today? And think of how your creativity can light up someone's day. And we've talked a bunch about the different ways, right? And just when you sit down with this one, you make sure you put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt in your notebook, your journal, wherever it is that you do all of this. And then just be silent and just breathe and just kind of open yourself up to that God voice coming into you, giving you all the different ways to share, right? So you don't have to, you're not just stuck with one, right? It's however many you want. And it's funny because yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, I don't remember, someone shared in the group, one of those little things. What are the for 3 first words that you see, and share those. And then who, I can't even remember off the top of my head who it was. Was it? I don't remember. So I don't want to say the wrong name, but somebody said, can we only pick 3? And I thought, well, wait a minute. I didn't even think about that. And I said, you can pick as many as you want. It's your life, right? You don't have to be confined to pick 3. Pick as many as you want. And it's the same here. You don't have to just pick one. You can write out as many as you want and then just explore it. Like each one of those thoughts that come up, a fun way you can share your unique voice and gifts with the world today, just let them all fly. Just write it out. And remember, I tell you all the time, don't judge it. Don't criticize whatever comes up. Just write it out. It doesn't matter if it sounds like the craziest, silliest thing you've ever heard. Nobody would really care about that. I don't know if I could do that. None of that matters. Just write it down. And then after you get all those written down, just think about, how can you light up someone's day today? And just do it. It's easy to do. And once you've done it for a little bit, it's just going to be the natural flow that happens in your everyday life as you're going about business, right? It's the kind word, the smile, the creative way that somebody says something and you interject something that makes them laugh. Maybe it's you've got a friend that maybe is in the hospital and you can reach out to them and say, hey, I was really thinking about you. And I know you're having a hard time. And I just wanted to tell you that I'm here and I'm sending you blessings and love. Very easy to do, right? Not a lot of people do it. So remember, your unique voice and gifts and talents and everything are not always these big, expansive things that you share out, your programs, your whatever, right? It can be something as simple as, I got you. I care. Or an anonymous, I'm sending them peace, love, and light. I'm tapping into this God voice and just letting it go. Giving them something that will light them up. So what do you think? You ready to continue to sprinkle? Sprinkle? You're welcome. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for being here. So I would love if you guys want to share anything in the group, and let's just have a conversation about it. That would be amazing. And just a quick reminder, I told you guys that tonight is the Entrepreneur's Golden Wild. Sue came in and we spoke about her program. You're welcome, Jackie. And tonight she's doing her s'mores club, and you have to be part of her group. So definitely check out Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Make sure that you are part of her group and then be there. I'm going to be there tonight making my s'mores. I don't know if I'm going to be making it on the grill or if I'm going to be doing it in the oven or in the air fryer. I have no idea. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm going to be there because it's going to be so much fun. And so I would love to have you guys there. And then also on Tuesday, the 20th at 4 p.m. Eastern, that is when we're having our mini workshop. And that information is in the events section of the group. So anybody that's watching that is not part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, then all you have to do is go to VickiPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then you'll be prompted with some questions. And when you answer those questions, then you'll be part of the group. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. This has been an amazing morning with so many people here that I appreciate you all so very much. And so if you're just now getting here, then you'll have to go and watch the replay because this is some really good thoughts and things that we're have been talking about for a while here. And I appreciate you coming, Wendy. It's great to see you. And just a reminder about tonight, the event in the S'mores Club will be at, what did I say? 8:30 p.m. tonight Eastern. And you have to be part of the Entrepreneurs Gone Wild group in order to be there. But it's going to be amazing. And then our workshop on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm so looking forward to all of this stuff. And I've got some really cool things coming up for next month. I'm getting them scheduled now. So, as I say quite often, if you have a friend or someone who would benefit from this stuff that we're doing, because if you love it, if you're showing up, then it's definitely something that one of your friends would love as well. And I would love to have them join in and be part of the group. And we've got some new stuff coming up pretty soon. And so I'm super, super excited about all the new things. And I would love to have you share this out with your friends and your family. So remember, like I said, do not just do the share button, because then it just doesn't work out well. Send them a direct message and tell them that you're in this group and that you would love to have them there too. And that here's a link. Make sure you answer the questions and I'll see you there. Whatever it is that you need to say, but definitely help me out and help me get even more people in this group so that we can have such an impact on each other and then out there as well. All right. So let's have a magic filled day. Sprinkle your magic. Oh, let's see. What does this say? Something just popped up. Let's see. Have a blessed weekend. Hope to catch you all when I can. Heading to a Tiger Yankee game. Ooh, here in Detroit. I hope to sprinkle and not get sprinkled on. Oh, I love that, Lynn. Ooh. How cool is that? All right. So you guys need to connect, I guess. So just reach out, Wendy and Lynn, and connect a little bit. But yes, have a sprinkle of magic in your life today. Yes, yes. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern for our affirmation and journal prompt. And remember, tonight is the S'mores Club with Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. So definitely make sure that you've joined that group, and I want to see you there. See you there. It'll be fun. All right. So have a sprinkle of magic, and I will see you tomorrow.